Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
You must be proud to have such an incredible collection of stained glass.
Pride is a sin, monsieur, but it is hard not to marvel when the light shines through them. It is a fine example of the artisan's genius.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. Have you ever seen anything like this lens?
No, never. The glass seems subtly colored in some way.
Yeah, I've never noticed that before. Have you ever seen...
No, never.
Yeah. There's grease paint.
Oui, you are correct.
What do you make of this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
Okay, thanks. Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess. The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove. Hey! A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date. Let me see. MCCC-XIV. That's 1314. Hello again, Father. Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Did you know that the center window conceals an image of a man burning at the stake?
The burning man?
What, you knew?
That there was a hidden image? No. But the church has a reputation for being haunted. Many times people have claimed to have seen a burning man in the window. But when others they look, there is nothing. Perhaps the light has to be just so for the figure to appear.
Yeah, or maybe you need a special lens. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
It was hard to believe it was the same chalice. Now the light gleamed off its perfect surface.
waiting in prayer for the judgment day. Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it, but the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more, Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Nope, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own. Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Boy, what a shine you got on this.
Merci. It is all a newest action.
I've got a...
Oui, so you have.
Have you seen this man?
No, I have never seen him before.
I was in Ireland recently and I brought back this plaster.
My sister brought back a shillelagh.
There's grease paint.
Oui, you are correct.
I thought about using the shake and shock on him, but I couldn't do that to a priest. Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date. I wondered if this guy had died in combat. A stone knight lay at the... Carrying all that armor around. A stone knight. To think of the long centuries that had kept it secret. All the thousands of people who must have been through here and seen it without once suspecting. A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors. A huge I was surprised Philip le Bel had left this place alone. The second stone knight in a row of 4 lay on the church floor. Just think, there's a dead guy under there. A stone knight lay on the church floor. The tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos. It had to be. I couldn't wait to tell the Countess. I'd have to find out what the chalice was for first, though. Waiting in prayer for the a knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state.
Hi, Andre.
Hello.
While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Naval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now, a bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
What do you make of this cup, Andre?
It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably.
You sure know your onions. Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, could you help me?
What is it?
I've got a few questions. What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoked so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean when you finish your break.
When I finish my break? An interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too?
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but là...
You couldn't be bothered to join.
Right. Tell you what, though. I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
I have a red...
Imagine.
Have you seen this man?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions, just like you.
Have you ever seen any...
Yes, it's a communion chalice. I know, you know, I used to be an altar boy.
You?
Yes, me. What's so funny about that?
I was pretty sure the Shaken Shock had shot its bolt in Syria. Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I couldn't climb over. There was a dumpster full of debris, from the excavation, I guessed. The painter had a pot of gunmetal gray primer hanging from the barrier.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Puh!
Hi? Excuse me?
Oui?
What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause, during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him. So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy. I just didn't realize you were a guard. I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground. Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
Hi, Nico?
Georges, what have you discovered?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Is something wrong?
No.
Georges, why are you calling me?
Oh, no reason. I just wanted to hear your voice.
You did? Well, this is my voice saying, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Oh.
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door's locked, monsieur.
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer. Yep, that was definitely debris. I couldn't see any use for a collection of dirt and half bricks. A dumpster with some debris in it. The doorway was full of assorted old tea chests, cardboard boxes, and so on, all empty and all uninteresting. The doorway led to there was nothing interesting in there. The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there. A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial. I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial. Hi again.
What is it?
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
Trying to get into a locked washroom. I had the strongest feeling of déjà vu. I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
That guard had been put here to guard something. My guess was that the excavation was behind that door.
A hand dryer was mounted on the wall. If the Club Alamut had used one of these instead of a roller towel, I'd probably still be stuck in Marib. A bin stood in the corner. It didn't look like it had been emptied for a while. I wasn't that interested in what... Being in a charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in pretty good order. At least, it had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause. I didn't need to get near to tell the toilet needed cleaning. The shovel used to feed the furnace was stuck into the pile of coal. Capacious as my pockets were, I didn't figure I could cram a shovel in them. The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it. There was a big old boiler used for heating the building. There was a ventilation grill up in the wall. I could have climbed onto the sink, prized the ventilator cover loose, wedged myself into the tiny hole, smashed the far cover out, and plunged headfirst into the next room. Or I could just go through the door like a sane person. A hand dryer was mounted on the wall. If the Club Alamut, Being in a charming comforts, that place was kept in, at least... Capacious as my... The shovel used to feed the furnace was... Hi again.
What is it?
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I turned the heating off. I turned the thermostat back to where I'd found it. I turned the heating off. Hi again.
What is it?
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
There was a closed door. A hand dryer was mounted on the wall. If the Club I could have climbed onto the sink, wedged, or I could have climbed, wedged, or there was a ventilation grill. Capacious as my pocket. The shovel used to feed the... I didn't want. A huge pile of coal lay in the corner to fuel the boiler. Real high-tech stuff. The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it. There was a big old boiler used... There was a big old boiler used for heating the building. I didn't need to get near to tell the toilet. I had a hunch that door was locked.
Hi again.
What is it?
Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
no.
I've got a red...
Oh.
Have you...
Oh,
You have.
uh,
I've got...
I thought better of showing him the chalice. He might be on the conspiracy's payroll, and I didn't want to risk it.
oui. You have...
a sudden urge to sing. Care to join me?
No, no singing in here.
Do you recognize this name?
Merlin. No,
This gadget is a sewer.
so it is.
I got this...
Not...
I was going to have to get rid of this thing. It was dead.
Look, a tissue stained with grease paint.
Ah, just what I've always wanted. If you give me that, you can enter through the door.
Really?
Of course not. What would I want with an old tissue?
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
On the keyring was a big old key that looked like it might fit the excavation door. The keyring contained the keys to the washroom and the excavation. The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there. A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. I'd turned the thermostat all the way down. It was getting pretty chilly.
Hey, monsieur, don't go with my keys. What is it?
Here's the keys.
Merci, monsieur.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur. Hey,
Okay.
I should think so.
I turned the thermostat back to where I'd found it.
Hi again.
What is it?
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.